Hello, Leo. My name is Agatha, and this is a tarot reading to find out about you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. In this reading, I cannot give you timing, okay? So I cannot tell you this will happen in a month, in a year, in 10 years. I have no idea. I'm going to use the Celtic Cross spread, which is a 10-card reading, and I'm going to use for you, Leo, the Pictorial Key Tarot. Okay. What else? Okay, this is relevant for those who have either the Sun in Leo, the Moon in Leo, the Rising Sign in Leo, or the Venus in Leo. If you like something similar just for you, I can do it for $25 US. You know, you'll have something similar, and you'll find out about you and your romantic soulmate. You just have to write to dunyazade@gmail.com, and I'd be delighted to work with you. Whenever you see this reading, it was the appropriate time for you to see this reading, okay? It was meant for you to see it at the time that you find it. You can see it now when I'm making it in May 2018. You can see it in a year, in 10 years from now. You are meant to find it when you find it, okay? Please be patient because I'm doing this little by little. So eventually all the readings will be up for all the signs in my YouTube channel. And finally, I'm going to ask you to pick one of the 3 cards that I'm going to show you, one, and at the end of the reading, I'll tell you the meaning of these cards. I'll tell you, okay? So the options are Key, Heart, and Tower, okay? Key, Heart, and Tower, okay? So those are the options, and stay at, I'm sorry, till the end so I can give you the meaning of these options. So, Leo, you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. Leo, you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. So, let's see. 1, 2, and 3. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okie dokie. So let's see how many major arcana cards you have. You have 2 major arcana cards, so maybe perhaps for about 20% of you this reading will be a bit more relevant. As a central theme, you have the 10 of coins, or the 10 of pentacles. So, your romantic soulmate, it doesn't matter if you have already found him or her, or if you will find him or her, you know, I don't know, eventually, I have no idea when. Your romantic soulmate is, could be a very rich person, could be someone who's very wealthy, who comes from a wealthy type of background. Your romantic soulmate, Leo, can be maybe a bit conservative, maybe a bit traditional, you know, even religious, but it's like he or she has traditional values, traditional morals, conservative type of thinking. So, and, you know, might be rich. Another way of reading is that when you encounter your soulmate, you might build a very rich life with him or her, or the purpose for you to encounter related to your soulmate is to, you know, build a more solid foundation in your life. But basically what I'm getting is that maybe perhaps this person is very traditional and rich, okay? Another way of reading it is that you might find him or her in some sort of traditional setting, some sort of traditional environment. And you might build also a life with him or her, a very comfortable, wealthy life. You have kids, you have grandchildren, okay? Then in the position of that which is yet not seen, you have the Five of Cups. So this is regret, this is disillusionment, you know, this is hurt. I would say that maybe perhaps you might find him or her, you might find your soulmate, Leo, when in a moment of your time in your life when there's some sort of regret, there's some sort of despair, where you feel that you've lost something, not everything, but you feel that you've lost something important, and this is perhaps the time. Or when you are feeling like this, when your life is like this is the time when you might find him or her. Another way of reading this card, the Five of Cups, it says that perhaps he or she might be, even though he or she is rich and wealthy, there's some sort of regret in his heart or in her heart. He's like, he might be a bit depressed, okay? He might be a very sad person. There might be sadness in his life or her life. You might have this type of, you know, personality, this type of demeanor, or you might encounter him or her at the moment in his life or her life in which he or she feels very depressed and very sad, and he or she feels like he lost or she lost something important in his life or her life. Now the base is the root. For the reading you have the Devil. So this relationship might be about control and domination. Okay, this is your romantic soulmate. So control and domination through money. This is the Devil is connected with millionaires and billionaires, very rich people. The Devil is also connected with Capricorn, so maybe perhaps your soulmate might have something in Capricorn. So in one, I can read this card as very rich person. This person is very rich but sad, for instance, comes from a traditional family, wealthy, has conservative values, but maybe he or she is sad, depressed. Another way of reading this card, he or she might be a very controlling person, or you, Leo, you might be a controlling person, okay? And the reason for you to be with your soulmate, for you to be with your romantic soulmate, is to illuminate the fact that you have control issues, that you kind of like to manipulate, and this is to kind of help you stop this type of behavior. Or maybe both of you are a bit like this. Maybe both of you are a bit controlling, or maybe both of you, another way of reading this card, that you self-sabotage. Maybe you, Leo, you self-sabotage yourself, and you don't achieve the things that you want to achieve in your life because you don't think there's no point. You have a very negative way of thinking, or maybe the other person is like this. Maybe your romantic soulmate is like this, and he or she seems to be a bit, you know, he or she might be depressed and self-sabotage and have negative thinking. I'm going to give you another way of reading these cards. There's some sort of mental issues with this person. This person might even be a bit paranoid, might have mental illness of some kind, and I'm not talking about depression, I'm talking about something much more worse than that. I'm talking about psychosis or schizophrenia, something like that. Yeah, this is heavy energy. So this person, your soulmate, might be like this. Or, like, the whole reason that you're together, or you're going to be together, is to help get out of this self-sabotage mode, of this controlling type of mode, of this manipulating sort of mode. Help you get out of this. Also, he or she might be in a very controlling family, and when your soulmate comes around, he'll be able to, you know, release himself from the control of his family or her family. Or you might be in a very controlling type of family. It's safe, you know, but there's an element of control here, Leo. And your soulmate being with you will allow you to liberate yourself from the control of your family. Now, the past influencing the present and the future, you have the Three of Cups. So maybe this person belongs to your group of friends, for instance, I would say. Maybe you already met him or her in the past, in a party, in a celebration of some kind, or maybe one of your friends in the past introduced you to this person. Okay? Another way of reading is that if you believe in past lives, if this card relates to past lives, Leo, the Three of Cups tells me that maybe perhaps in a past life you were friends. You could even have been sisters. You know, you were friends, you were sisters, you got along fine, and you had like that type of friendship, type of energy. Now, that which is in your mind or that which you want, you have the Page of Cups. You do want like the fairy tale type of, you know, love story. You want to you know, live that type of story of love, romantic story. You want everything to be wonderful and nice. You want a brand new love story. You want a brand new love story. Maybe perhaps for those of you who are married and you are not married with your soulmate, maybe you are in a very difficult sort of situation right now, Leo, in which you are married with a very controlling person. It's a very wealthy person. He or she is very wealthy, but you're being controlled with this person and you cannot get out. And what you desire is to have a brand new love so you can get out of this marriage, for instance. This is what you want. You want a brand new love, a romantic love, a kind love, an innocent love. This is what you want. This is what you'd like to have. What else? You want to be offered that. You want to, you know, someone just to come along and just to offer you a brand new love, Leo. What else? What else? Something like pure, absolutely pure. Because the devil is also connected with sex. So with sex drive. So this person might have a very high sex drive, for instance, another way of reading it. Or you might be in a marriage where the present marriage, which is not a soulmate type of thing, where you are with a person who has a very high sex drive and you're kind of sick of it, Leo, and you want a pure love, kind of like a platonic love. This is what you'd like. This is like what you desire. What else? What else? So, also, another way of reading this card is it might show how the person is. So what's in your mind, the way he or she is. He or she might be innocent, like I said, pure at heart, a bit young. Not necessarily, but could be like someone who never loved before. Maybe you are, Leo, the first time he or she loves. And it's kind of very platonic sort of way, an innocent sort of way. Yeah. You have feelings of love in your head. You might be thinking about this person all the time. Then the near future. Now the near future, I don't know when it will be. This could be 3 months from now. This could be a year from now. This could be 10 years from now. I'm going to read this card more as when you first meet your soulmate or when you first recognize your soulmate as your romantic soulmate. So this could be, it's the Knight of Cups. This could be literally a knight in shiny armor coming your way and offering you love, someone who behaves in a very romantic sort of way, Leo. Now, you can encounter him or her during a trip, during a holiday, and a trip that you do for fun, a trip that you go to a place, it could be a city, it could be another country, but this place might have water, and you are in a vacation. This is not a trip for business. This is during a vacation for fun, okay, to relax. And maybe during that time, this is the time when you will meet your soulmate. This person I already mentioned Capricorn, right? But he or she might also have something in water, like Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So he or she might be very romantic towards you, okay, might demonstrate his love or her love in a very romantic sort of way. This could even seem like a summer love, like an affair that's not supposed to last all that long, Leo. So some of you might have this type of relationship where you are out in a different country, a different city, enjoying yourself. You encounter someone, even someone a bit younger than you, and you have nice times with him or her. This is a liaison, like a quick affair, but then you might realize that no, this is not supposed to be quick, that this is really in fact the love of your life, your romantic soulmate, that this is more than just an affair. Could be that. So it's during a trip you might meet him or her, like a vacation type of trip, a leisure trip of some kind, even in a spa or something like that. Now the next card, Leo, represents you, or it symbolizes you. You have the Seven of Swords. So you're lying about something. You're keeping something a secret. You might have an affair with your romantic soulmate, and you're keeping that a secret. So this could be this could be a lover, and you're kind of keeping it on the down low. You're not talking about it. You're hiding it because maybe you're already in a marriage that's not very good, and if your spouse would find out that you are having an affair, you'd lose a lot of material security. Another way of reading it is that maybe you're being very diplomatic, Leo. You are trying to measure your words, I would say, in connection with this person, in connection with your soulmate. But basically I'm reading this as a liaison, an affair. That's what I'm reading, in that you're keeping it secret. Now, the people surrounding you, or how other people see you, this also could be your soulmate, and that's the Ten of Swords. So many different ways of reading this card. One is your soulmate, again, might be someone who's coming out of a very bad situation. He or she feels that he or she has lost something important. He or she feels that he or she has been betrayed. This could even play out in, I'm going to give you another example. Let's say that your soulmate is a guy, let's say that, and he comes from a very wealthy type of family, or he has riches that he conquered on his own. And then he finds out that his wife cheated on him. Okay? So that's the betrayal part. He feels betrayed. So his wife cheated on him. And now, maybe he's separated, maybe he's divorced, and now he finds you, Leo. And some of you might be already married. And you have an affair with this guy. So it's kind of repeating a theme here. So it's like someone did it to him, his wife cheated, and now he is the one who's helping someone else's wife cheat. So it could be that. I'm giving you this just an example, but it could be any other type of thing, where not necessarily, it doesn't mean that he was married, doesn't mean this card, Ten of Swords, doesn't mean that he felt betrayed in terms of marriage or a love relationship, but there's some sort of a very painful ending in his life at the time when you, Leo, are going to meet him or her. Something painful ends in his life in a way that he feels that he or she has lost a lot, has lost something important to him or her. And he or she is really sad about it, really, really sad. And there's some sort of depression. There's some sort of painful negative thoughts. I'm going to give you another example. Okay, this is just an example. Let's say that he or she has a young child, and maybe the child died for whatever reason. Could be an accident, could be an illness. This is another way of why your soulmate is so sad at the time that you are going to meet him or her. This is just another example. But it could be any other type of thing. It could be in his professional life or her professional life, for instance. There's like a sense of loss, deep loss and betrayal. Things end painfully. Another way of reading it, this is the people who surround you, Leo, at the time when you meet your soulmate. At the time when you meet your soulmate, for instance, you might be married, you might have a very stable, in terms of finances, type of relationship with your spouse, but your spouse finds out that you are cheating on him or her with your soulmate, and he or she feels very betrayed. Your spouse might be feeling very betrayed, and this might end the marriage that you have, this cheating. Okay? I'm not saying that this will happen, I'm just giving you all possible examples. Okay? Again, this is a very general reading. If you'd like your own personal consultation, please write to dunyazade@gmail.com and I'd be delighted to work with you. So someone around your midst, someone surrounding you, who might be, for instance, your spouse, might feel cheated, might feel betrayed. This could even be illness, not necessarily like being stabbed in the back, but it's a very painful ending to someone surrounding you. Now, another way of reading this card is how other people see you, Leo, and how other people see you. They see you as someone who is being stabbed in the back, who has a very painful ending in her life or his life. So you, Leo, you might be the one who is experiencing some sort of very difficult ending in your life. And this is why you're very sad, and this is why you have negative thoughts. And this ending, now I'm going to give you another example. Let's say that you find out that you've been married for a while. You might have kids, even grandkids, Leo, and you've been married. This is a very stable type of relationship, but it's a very controlling type of relationship. And then you find out that your spouse is cheating on you. And everyone, which also would be the Seven of Swords. So it could be that your spouse is cheating on you and you'll find out about his secret or her secret. And then your spouse divorces you and marries someone else. It could even be someone younger than you, someone a lot younger than you. And this is how you feel. And when all of this happens, this is the time when you meet your soulmate. So all of this could be happening to you. All of this cheating, your spouse is cheating, you get divorced, you're very afraid of your financial stability, you feel like you lost something very important. And this could even be with one of your friends, one of your younger friends, not necessarily, or someone whom your spouse has met in a party. Maybe your spouse met someone in a party a few months before, a few years before, and started having an affair with him or her. And then now everything comes to light, and your marriage ends. And by the time when this happens, it's like a cleansing in your life. Then this is the time where finally your soulmate can come into your life, because now you're free. Now, the next card is the Seven of Cups and speaks of fears, desires, and advice. So, this is the card of illusions. This is a card of daydreaming, of thinking that everything is going to be alright, that every possible choice that you have at your disposal is right. No, I would say that you're kind of daydreaming, you're hoping for everything to magically come together, for everything to magically solve itself. That's what you're hoping. You are afraid that your dreams don't come true in terms of finding your soulmate. when you do find your soulmate, you are afraid that it's not real, that it's only an illusion. As an advice card, Leo, I would say that the advice for you is to make the best possible choice, is to be careful with the choices that you have available to you, and to make the best possible choice. And this relates to in terms of if you have to divorce, be careful with, for instance, the lawyer that you choose, be careful with the choices that you choose. If you have to start a relationship with your soulmate, again, maybe there's several ways of starting the relationship with him or her, and you have to be careful. It's like make the best possible choices concerning your soulmate. Another way of reading this card is that believe in your dreams. The advice could also be that, because you might be in a very negative place, so maybe perhaps you need a bit of daydreaming. So the advice could also be believe in your dreams, okay? Because this would lift you up, make you a bit more happy. And finally, the outcome, you have the the Chariot card, which is a major arcana card. This card is connected with the sign of Cancer. So your soulmate, might have something very important in Cancer. So he or she might be a mix of Cancer and Capricorn, for instance. This is a success card. This is a victory card. This is also a high sex drive card. So it's like, Leo, you leave a relation. Some of you might leave a relationship in which you are married, and you with a guy or woman who had a very high sex drive, and you go to another relationship with your soulmate. Again, it's the same thing. It's a very high sex drive, but it's different type of sex. I would say it's more pleasant to you. It's less controlling and dominating, and it's not like that. It's like he knows what he's doing, he or she. So this is also a travel card. Traveling. You might meet him or her while you're traveling. I would say to another country, but while you're traveling, you're going to meet him or her, and this is the Conqueror card. So he or she might conquer you, Leo, or it could be you. You could be the person who conquers him or her. What else? Yeah, this person gives you hope. I'm looking at the star above the guy's head. It's like this person gives you hope. No, he's a blonde. The Chariot card is a blonde, and the Knight of Cups, usually the cups also can portray blonde people. So if you have, for instance, if you're already in a marriage, you might have a young child, and you're worried about the situation connected to how all of this, for instance, a divorce, a new marriage, a new connection to your soulmate, you're worried about how all of this will affect your child, your young children, because you're afraid that your spouse might kind of poison their mind. You're afraid of that as well, and try to control you by controlling your son, by using your son or your daughter, your young children or your young child. Yeah, this could be a very successful relationship. And now another way of reading this, like I said, this person could come from a very happy family. Not happy, very wealthy family, very wealthy. He or she might be very rich, a lot of money. Might be a bit of a controlling sort of person, but there's like a lot of money, but he's sad. There's some sort of sadness. There's like a painful ending in his life or her life. This type of person might be an entrepreneur, like a business type of person, because I read the Chariot card also as someone who goes out and is a go-getter. And while in a trip, he or she might have like an affair with you, just to, have some fun. And then it's basically he or she finds out that you're actually soulmates. So this could start as an affair, and it kind of ends up like a true romantic soulmate type of relationship, which will completely change your life. Now, remember the cards that I showed you in the beginning? So it's the heart, the key, and the tower. So I'm going to tell you the meanings. If you haven't picked, pick now. The heart, the key, the tower. Okay. If you have picked the card, the tower, it means that between 80% and 90% of this reading directly applies to you. If you have picked the card, the heart, it means that between 40 and 50% of this reading relates to you. And finally, if you have picked the card, the key, it means that between 10% to 20% of this reading directly relates to you. So that's it, Leo. This is the reading that I have for you. Again, if you like your own personal reading, please write to dunyazade@gmail.com and I'd be delighted to work with you. That's it. Bye-bye.